Hi everybody, welcome to Jinx Wall Street News. According to the US Bureau of Labor Statistics, the number of job openings fell from 7.9 million in June to 7.7 million in July. According to the US Census Bureau, new orders for manufactured goods jumped 5% in July. This is mainly because new orders for durable goods rose 9.9% in July, as I reported on August 27th. The Federal Reserve released the Beige Book Wednesday saying, quote, employment levels were generally flat to up slightly in recent weeks, end quote. 10-year Treasury yield decreases to 3.76% and 2-year Treasury yield falls to 3.77%. So the inverted yield curve has returned to normalization. For the US stocks, S&P 500 fell 0.16% Wednesday, but the Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 0.09%. According to the US Bureau of Labor Statistics, the number of job openings fell from 7.9 million in June to 7.7 million in July. In addition to the fall, June's number was revised down from 8.2 million to 7.9 million. The number quit was unchanged at 3.3 million. If you look at the 10-year chart for the US job openings, we can understand Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell's remarks, quote, the labor market has cooled considerably from its formerly overheated state. The number of job openings has become close to the pre-pandemic levels. The job openings to unemployment ratio was at 1.07 in July 2024, less tight than just before the pandemic in 2019, as Jerome Powell mentioned in the Jackson Hole conference. According to the US Census Bureau, new orders for manufactured goods jumped 5% from $564 billion in June to $592.1 billion in July, after 2 consecutive monthly decreases. I was wondering why new orders for manufactured goods jumped in July while US manufacturing PMI fell to 49.6 in July. So I looked at the details. Primary metal fell from 26.7 billion to 26.4 billion. Fabricated metal products rose from 36.2 billion to 36.2 billion. Machinery fell from 37.7 billion to 37.7 billion. Computers and electronic products fell slightly from 25.1 billion to 25 billion. Until now, no big increases. However, as I reported on August 27, there was a big jump in non-defense aircraft and parts from minus 4.1 billion to 23.6 billion. So the new orders for durable goods jumped 9.9% from 263.5 billion to 289.5 billion. This is the main reason why the new orders for manufactured goods jumped 5% in July. Most importantly, new orders for non-defense capital goods, excluding aircraft, a closely watched proxy for business spending plans, fell 0.1% in July. The Federal Reserve released the Beige Book Wednesday. On overall economic activity, the Beige Book said, quote, Economy activity grew slightly in 3 districts, while the number of districts that reported flat or declining activity rose from 5 in the prior period to 9 in the current period. When it comes to the labor market, the Beige Book said, quote, employment levels were generally flat to up slightly in recent weeks. 5 districts saw slight or modest increases in overall headcounts. But a few districts reported that firms reduced shifts and hours, left advertised positions unfilled, or reduced headcounts through attrition, though accounts of layoffs remained rare. 10-year Treasury yield have risen to 3.91% as the U.S. Bureau of Economic Analysis reported higher second quarter GDP and strong consumer spending last week. Then the yield falls to 3.76% as oil prices are declining and job openings fell in July, as well as the new orders for non-defense capital goods, excluding aircraft, fell 0.1% in July. 2-year Treasury yield falls to 3.768%, 0.3 basis point higher than the 10-year Treasury yield. So this is a chart showing 10-year Treasury yield minus 2-year Treasury yield. In the late 1970s, there was an inversion. When the yield curve was about to normalize, there was a recession. In the early 1980s, the yield curve inverted again, and then the recession came when the inversion was about to normalize. In the late 1980s, inversion occurred, then a recession started again after curve normalized. At the beginning of 2000, there was an inversion. Then we had the dot-com bubble recession after inversion normalized. In 2006, we saw an inverted yield curve. Then 2008 financial crisis after the relationship between the 10-year and 2-year Treasury yield normalized. Just before the coronavirus recession, we saw a brief inversion in 2019 and then normalized. So what's the next? I don't have any data or information signaling a recession in the US right now. But I think we have to be careful when we invest in any risk assets when the inverted curve starts to normalize. For the US stocks, S&P 500 fell 0.16%. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 0.09%. The tech-heavy Nasdaq lost 0.3%. Okay, this is the end of today's news. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day.